Hello, darling.
She's too important.
Nice noise.
Saturday. Asking, was talking to somebody.
They gave you a raise? What are you going to do when you're gone?
You're going to miss me when I'm gone.
You're going to miss me.
Where are you going? No.
Yeah?
You're going to miss me when I'm gone.
I don't think I'd go anywhere. Wouldn't gain any traction. I think we should proceed.
First what we did over the weekend, having all the actually the campaign up, we allowed it, but actually the campaign laws are not supposed to be able to campaign on city property, county owned property, or state owned property. I know. But if we say that, but it's actually
Yeah.
because I had somebody walk up to me and ask me why you did that right now. Sorry. You take my break away.
Good deal.
Y'all are really getting old.
What?
I could be working in Coleman. I could go to something.
I don't think
In
it.
Coleman. No, I could never work.
This is the coldest seat. It's freezing over here.
Is that like I owe my soul to the company store? Yeah.
I was born one morning. I was
What?
I was born one morning. I got a son. Think about hit them.
And then go sing it there.
I'm trying to remember the next year's doing this telecom. And I can sing.
I'm just reading stuff that.
This is freezing.
Anyway,
I thought you were doing
Oh, no, it's like.
Anyway.
Oh, God's okay. Something. I thought you were writing something.
There should be some kind of maneuvers or something.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I think Kelly needs some more coolness down there.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions and deletions to tonight's meeting? If not, I'll call for a motion for approval of the June 13th, 2022 council meeting minutes.
I move that we approve the June 13th, 2022 council minutes.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Reports. Councilman Moulton.
Not much. I'd like to thank everybody that volunteered, reached into their pocket and donated. and worked their butt off this last weekend for Deer Creek Days. It was the first since the two boards had merged, and it was quite the learning curve, so hopefully we'll be a lot better next year. But thanks, everybody that did that. And also those things I handed out for you guys, they're just informational right now, but maybe we'll get a work session or discuss them in the future and changes done. I did give a copy to Jared and Lyle.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Phillips.
Nothing, just that I went to their little bike-a-thon they had at the Splash Park a couple weeks ago, I think. And had a pretty good little turnout. Some happy little kids got some new bikes. Rusty's Naughty Pine went all out.
Yeah, they did a great job
Yes.
of
It was,
raising that money and giving that away, all that
Kids
equipment.
had
They
a
did a
good-
nice job.
kids had a good time.
Yeah.
And I'll be attending a Joint Powers meeting next Wednesday. And that's it.
Councilman Kincaid.
I just want to echo John. Thanks. You guys did a really good job and
Thanks.
really good Deer Creek Days and the whole staff. I spent most of my weekend at Deer Creek Days meeting constituents and folks and observing all the events and hanging out with a lot of folks. Special thanks to the town square staff. They were wonderful. They were on their hard work, and anything that anybody needed at their booths, they were there to help them. And really nice folks. And a shout out to all the town crews that worked hard and overtime to town looking good and dumping the trash and stuff each day. So kudos to them. What else? I took a little tour of, actually 2 tours with Councilwoman Nunn. We kind of peeked in at the Boys and Girls Club, and it's just wonderful how it's coming along. And then the next day, you didn't get on this one, but Randy took me on a real nice tour through everything in there and kind of explained things to me. But we should be very fortunate. We got our town square there and a nice new Boys and Girls Club in conjunction with each other. It's going to be really something. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Councilwoman Nunn.
Yes, first, I'm going to be trashy here. This is the official flyer that will be coming in the mail to all citizens of Glenrock. $3,309,908.50 have been awarded to Earthworks Solution of Gillette to cover the cell at the dump. And this is how it's going to work, and you will be getting this in the mail. We are under construction. The new drop-off area for construction and demolition C&D waste should be completed by August 12th. If you are a residential customer, the only difference that you will notice is where you drop your C&D waste. If you are a commercial customer wanting to dispose of construction waste, we ask that you please take that waste directly to the Casper landfill. If you need to dispose of green waste that is larger than 12 inches in diameter, please chop it into smaller pieces so we can do further processing and make it into compost or soil amendment. We will still take larger trees cut down to 14 inches in length. We will make this available to our customers who would like to harvest it for firewood. Landfill closure activities will commence while the C&D drop area is being built. We ask that patrons be aware of heavy equipment traffic, stay within the posted areas, and limit their time on site. As we finish closure of the landfill cell, the Glenrock Land Solid Waste Disposal District will be able to concentrate our resources on expanding the services provided by the transfer station. We look forward to providing more options for your waste. Interested in getting involved in the solid waste issue? Please contact any of the board members: John Maines, Artie Schubert, Margaret Nunn, Kathy Weinstaff. We need one more person on our board, and this has been a very interesting process to be part of. Very educational and very informative, so I hope we have a person in our community that would like to share in that experience. Deer Creek Days. Deer Creek Days was a happy celebration. Many thanks to the individuals who worked to make this happy celebration a success, and to the business community for their cooperation and support. So many different activities and events happening. A quick comment on two special areas of this celebration. The splash pad was, as is becoming the weekend norm, very popular with with young children, their parents and grandchildren. It would seem appropriate to have town staff adult supervision on site anytime the park is open. The buckets in the splash park are not for tossing rocks in, nor is it safe to have bicycles and scooters be ridden in the splash park. We do not need a small child getting hit or getting sick from drinking the water after bicycle tires have polluted it. The craft fair had an outstanding variety of beautiful and quality displays and was in the perfect location in the gym at the rec center. But not all crafters were happy that no banner had been placed either on the building or on the lawn to identify the site. They felt the lack of location identification may have resulted in loss of foot traffic through the display. Be proud, Glenrock, we did well. As a closing thought, we need more employees working on site at the splash pad. We need rules posted for expected appropriate behavior while enjoying this beautiful facility. And finally, there appears to be an issue concerning the designation of the Senior Citizen Center as an emergency center for Glenrock in the case of a severe situation. Nancy Fink, the director of the Senior Center, is here tonight, and perhaps she can help us understand the issue. Thank you.
Town Clerk Tammy.
We've had a couple of inquiries into the campaign signs, so we need to make sure that any of the campaign signs around the rec center have to be 100 feet.
Where?
The rec center, because it's a polling place.
Oh.
So we just have to check that. I don't know what signs are over there, but
Is that 100 feet off the property?
100 feet off the property.
Yeah, they always say
Correct.
that around the voting day. I haven't seen any over there, really.
There are some that are too close there.
Some across the street.
Yeah.
I just know I've
Comes up
gotten
under
calls, so we
campaign
just need to
laws.
check.
Can't have them that close to the polling place.
That's all I have.
Billy Treasurer.
Evening, Mayor and Council. We did receive our second installment of the ARPA funds. Came in just a little bit higher. It was about $100 higher than the first one, so not a big change. Starting to work on the F-66, starting to work on end-of-year entries, start new fiscal on Friday. So that's all I have.
Okay. Public Works, Randy.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Crew's been busy with meter reading, garbage collection, preparing for Deer Creek Days, laying sod at Kimball Park, which looks awesome. I thought they did a great job. And clean up after Deer Creek Days and mowing the parks. One thing I did forget to do for tonight for Kelly was I have the ice skating, everything ordered, but they want 50% down. So I would like to have permission for Kelly to write a check tomorrow for $70,000 and get it sent to them, and they'll get it ordered. I got the new quote today because I removed one door. So
Okay.
Is it the same or more or less, the quote, the new quote?
it's about $500 less.
This is the money we had in there for
Did we have a
Yeah,
budget?
we're not going to do it until new budget, but we just would like to be
Okay.
able to write that check for Friday. And
It'll be on Friday, so that goes on the next budget.
Do we have to make a motion for that?
No, it's in we've approved it in the budget, so they can bring it back up. We can approve it, partial payment at the next council meeting is fine. Or we can do it either way, it's whatever council's pleasure is.
I say get it coming.
Yeah, winter's going to be here before we know it.
Yeah.
Or we hope.
She might not be here till next year.
Randy, how are the picnic tables going?
we still got 3 in the shop that aren't completely assembled yet. So Deer Creek Days, we've just been too busy, couldn't get them put together.
How many do you have altogether?
6.
Good.
There's 3 out there.
Are
Yeah,
you-
there's 3
are
out
they, are they on that grass someplace, or some of them on that grass behind the hotel?
There are concrete ones back there, yes.
Good.
That have always been there.
Good, that's good. And what about mosquito spraying? Have you killed them all dead yet?
We're spraying.
It's an impossible
Yeah.
request.
Yeah.
Have you killed half of them dead yet?
I hope so.
I'm counting in the morning again to see how that figure comes out.
Okay.
Lyle. Belding,
We got him in there.
he was starting to duck. I saw him slouching down. I seen him move.
Yeah, evening, Mayor and Council. 67 building permits issued to date. Got the Hackle building heading in the right direction. Middle school's getting some work done. The high school's getting some work done. Trails Apartment's kind of in full swing, so that's good. Working on compliance. The UL listing at the town square, hopefully we'll be done with all the changes by the end of this week. And then the guy comes back for the 12th, and that's all I got.
Thank you. Any questions for Lyle?
Lyle, how's abatement going with the weeds?
Oh, it's a slow process, actually. You know, when you figure out one that you need to get a letter to, then you got to figure out who it goes to and certified mail, and they got to respond to you. You got to give them a little bit of time to abate the situation, and if they don't, now you got to take it over by the city and abate it, and then so it's a process.
So we're not getting rich.
Not yet.
It's never been a moneymaker.
Jeez, can't believe
Never
that.
been a moneymaker.
I got one question maybe you can help me on. With the Jan Gray lots getting mowed down, is that something they're going to do? Are we going to have to tackle that, or is some of his people going to do that?
Now, our contact that we had last year that worked great, that's kind of fallen apart. So it's going to probably go back to sending him a letter that more than likely he ignores, and then we take it in our hands and go from there.
Okay, we just had some folks asking, so.
Yeah, that's all grown extremely up there. Okay, Mandy, Community Development.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's been busy, fun at the town square. It's been a learning experience, getting everybody trained and working on things. So we'll keep working and growing and training employees down there. We're working on event application and policies. The town's square, the party room, is rented almost every Saturday for the rest of through August. So that's exciting. There's somebody down there having birthday parties on Saturdays. The Glenrock Main Street application, we had our interview before the Wyoming board, so they got to come to Glenrock and tour the town square. They were more than impressed with our square. They were quite jealous in Cheyenne and Gillette, so we should be very proud of ourselves because it looked amazing. And also, we had the best presentation, and they did approve our application. So we'll be moving forward with that. And then the Converse County Tourism Board last week donated us 5 bikes for a bike kiosk. So we'll be putting that down at Town Square over by the bike path. So that's an app where they can come in and rent a bike, and then they'll have to return it there. And also the Converse County Tourism Board has budgeted $5,000 this next year to invest in branding and travel and tourism for the Glenrock area. And then they've also gave us $2,500 for a mascot for the horse.
The bicycle thing is a really cool question, though.
Yes.
As far as liability, how does that work for us? Do they have something they have to sign when they get a bike?
Well, I'll double check on the app, but I'm sure when you rent the bike on the app, I'm sure they,
Okay. I just want to make sure.
yeah.
If you don't bring it back, they keep charging you credit
Yeah.
card.
I just don't want
know
them to
they
get
charge-
hurt on the bike. Come back on us.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, like, when you rent those scooters, I'm sure it says they're not
I think there's
responsible
probably
for
something in there.
something on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
So Mandy, do you have any money in your budget to hire someone to work down there to help you? That's a lot of time to try to cover that place down there.
So we have 5 part-time employees down there now, and myself.
And is there an adult on site all the hours if there's kids down at the splash park?
So we have a staff. They're not over 18. So we have high schoolers working down there. Those 5 employees are high
They're very
schoolers.
good employees, but do you think you need another adult to be helping you to take some of the responsibility of, there's a lot of management issues down there that you're dealing with.
Well, I thought they've been doing a great job, so no, it hasn't crossed my mind that they, the issues that they've come across, they've handled very well, and I thought really exceeded my expectations. So no, that adults 18 and over hasn't crossed my mind. We're still training, we're still doing things, so.
So at this point, you're good to go?
I feel like we could probably use, April and I are still working on like the filters and stuff and like some of the maintenance stuff, but as far as like the supervision and stuff, I think we're good.
I thought the kids did a really good job and really, actually very professional.
Yeah, they've had some situations and I've been very proud of them. Like,
And you have a great staff down there.
yeah. So, we'll just keep working on it. Like I said, every day it's a new learning experience, something new and something, new things to work on. As Randy knows in Public Works, the splash pad isn't just hitting a button and turning it on. It's a lot to watch, and the chemicals and the filters and the cotton. The cotton could go away any moment, and that would make our life maybe a little bit easier down there. But right now, that seems to shut off our splash pad. So, like I said, we're working on that, and we're every day is a learning opportunity for us and them, and we'll get there.
And how is your week? Are you having enough time in your week to get done what you need to do?
I'm getting there. Yep.
Getting there?
The girls. Yep. I've asked for a computer so the staff down there can help take on some of the computer stuff, the little admin stuff like the advertising, the Facebook flyers, so they can start helping with that kind of stuff, which would give me more time.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
I have a question, Mandy.
Yes.
When are we going to get the signs?
I'm hoping to see him this week.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
are
'cause
ordered. We should have them, I hope, this week.
there was some dog mess down here.
Yeah, some of the stuff we mentioned prior, things that we can work on down there, but we can't really enforce anything till we really have some signage up to where we can back ourselves up.
Right. That will be helpful.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
keeping our fingers crossed they're going to go up. They are ordered and they're supposed to be shipping.
Yep.
Yeah, Mandy's hours down there are getting quite large, and I've brought this up several times in the department head meetings. I believe eventually we're going to need to hire at least 1 or 2 more full-time in staff to help take care of that, because she's got a lot of administrative stuff to do for community development and going to need to free up some of her time. She's putting in a lot of hours. She's done a heck of a job. I have to commend her for the hours and the time that she does. So, and I want to thank all of them what they did down there this weekend. I want to thank Public Works and all the extra time that they did in getting stuff out and helping the chamber and the GEDC get things done in town and around town for the weekend and getting it all cleaned up today.
Yes.
And we'll move on to Chief of Police Felton.
Evening, Mayor and Council.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Deer Creek Days was pretty busy for us. Between Friday and Saturday, officers responded to 54 calls directly related to Deer Creek Days. We issued out 5 citations and only 1 arrest over the weekend, so a lot down from years past, I guess, which is good. Bike Safety Night last week was a pretty big success. Big thanks to Mandy for helping us out with getting that going, as well as Renegade for refurbishing the bikes, and Rusty's Nutty Pine for the fundraiser and the new equipment they provided. Based on the snow cone sales down there, roughly 60 kids were present, so pretty successful, I think. Just FYI for the council, we did purchase new tasers, which did come in. The officers will be issued those within the next couple of weeks once we can get our training. I wanted to find a way to demonstrate those to you, but I didn't figure that the council chambers were going to be the best place. So anyone who's interested, please feel free to stop by, because I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, they're pretty neat, the new stuff they've come out with, so a lot more safe. The last week we did also complete compliance checks, and I'm proud to say that all of the local bars passed. So that's all I've got tonight.
Coulter, after your experience with Deer Creek Days this year, did you have any recommendations that you might think be appropriate to approach this next year that might make it better, easier?
Yeah, so we identified a number of things that I think, just like we have every year, Councilwoman Dunn, is things that we could do a little bit better, for sure. And I've been making a list, compiling and talking to the officers and making sure that we're adding everything that they've seen. But big shout out, to Public Works for the help that they did with giving us barricades wherever we needed barricades, and getting cones out, picking them up, and things of that sort. But definitely every year we kind of identify new things, I think. It's an ever-changing beast.
Safety looked like it was well covered this year.
We definitely did our best, yeah.
Jared, IT.
Hey, evening, Mayor and Council. Some of the good news is that we got the rest of the parts in for the screen. They have flights scheduled for the 5th, and then hope to get started building it on the 5th and finish it by the 6th. So the hope is then that we'll have a functioning, working LED wall on that amphitheater. We did get 2 cameras installed up there at Town Square, so those are running and recording. We've also got Vive. We worked out with them to do some public Wi-Fi down there, so they have their access points up. So you'll see a Town Square guest, and that's an open network for anybody to use. And there's also a Town Square vendor, which has a password, but it has a little more speed to it, so that if the vendors needed to use that to do their point of sale stuff and be able to sell and do their things, they can. So yeah, that's rolling down at the Town Square, and all the rest of my time's been spent doing some audio down there. We did a little bit for Deer Creek Days this past weekend, and we'll be doing the next Friday coming up and a couple other things. So
when are you going to have a movie, Jared?
Well, since everything's kind of kept getting pushed off, I've been hesitant to actually schedule a date. So I'd like to get the screen up and running, get it tested, and make sure we're happy and it's working the way we want it to before we put an actual date on it. But hopefully here in the next week or two, we should be able to get a date together and get a movie going down there.
Good plan.
Any other questions for Jared? If not, we'll move on to items from the floor. Is there any items from the floor this evening?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name's Nancy Fink. I'm the director of the Douglas and Glenrock Senior Centers. A little bit of history on the emergency center back. As near as I can tell, most of our board members have passed, but about 25 years ago, in collaboration with the town of Glenrock, Public Health, and the Senior Center, there was a purchase of a generator. Every Monday, I've been there 15 years, every Monday that I know of since then, the town has, can you hear me?
Yes, you're fine.
Okay, the town has serviced it. The center's paid for it. I didn't know that there was fuel involved. We've never been asked to pay for the diesel fuel. We would, had that have been asked of us. My concern was this last week we had the power outage and the generator didn't kick on. Well, we have thousands of dollars of meat and food in our coolers. That's what that generator's for. So my bookkeeper, office manager, Dana, called the town to see if there's a padlock on it that the town owns, mind you. So we never went in there. This was all, somebody else took care of that for us. So we called to have them come check it out. Why didn't it kick on? And so the public employee came up and in less than 7 minutes said to 2 of my employees, you push this button and that button, and that's all you got to do to take care of it. And by the way, we're not doing this anymore, and took the padlock off and left. It's unacceptable in my book. If the town does not want to have a relationship with the senior center about that generator, we're okay with that. But all those years, the very minimum, a phone call to me or a letter or something stating, hey, you know what, we don't want to do this anymore. Well, I called and talked to the Public Works Director, and he said, well, if you can produce a contract, we'll talk about it. But that was 25 years ago, back when the contracts were done by handshake. I can't find anything on it in writing. So I guess my point is, whether we take care of the generator or you guys take care of the generator, that to me right now is irrelevant. It is, we have worked really hard to keep our relationships with the entities in this town working together. We are a public emergency center. We have the showers, we have the food, we have the water. If there's emergency, that's where people are sent to go, etc. I think at a very minimum, we deserve an apology for how that all came down. And another question would be, had I not made a phone call, was that just going to be it? Yeah, okay, we're done. No phone call, no letter, no nothing, and that was how it's left. I think that's unacceptable. So, what you want to do about it from here, I don't know. I think that we've done a pretty good job of working with the town, the law enforcement, all entities with the senior center, and I would like to keep that going. If it has to do with the fuel that the generator takes, then we'll pay for the fuel. Anyways, that's where it was left, and I guess I would like to know from the council what your feelings are on it.
We'll take it under advisement and we'll get back to you on is what we'll have to do. We'll have to have a meeting on it and go over it, Nancy, but we will get back to you and let you know what is determined.
So in the meantime, then, I guess.
It'll be soon.
Okay.
We will take care of it and we will get back to you very soon.
Okay.
Nancy, does that create a problem or a dangerous situation?
No, it doesn't. I mean, like I said, for the 15 years that I've been there, it's never been an issue. We've never. I was told that we've always paid for all the services that were done on it. And was told on the phone, well, you've never paid for the fuel. Well, we've never been asked to pay for the fuel, for one, to start with. So, like I said, it's always been the town's. It was the town's padlock that was on it. So we never messed it. So, yeah, I just would like to know if... I don't want to see the relationship be fractured between the town and the senior center and public health and all the people that use our center and depend on the center over a generator. So.
But should you have an issue or you needed the generator, are you okay with the generator now? Is it functional?
The generator's fine. Yeah, it was just a matter of resetting it. We've never even had, in all these years, I've never even been told how to do that because it had always been something that the town took care of for us. That was the understanding. Most of the board members that were involved in that unfortunately have passed away. So I had to go by prior staff to come up with the date approximate when that had all taken place. So it's been a long time that the town has done the service on it for us. So us doing the service is not a problem. That is not the problem whatsoever. My complaint is how it was handled, and to make the assumption that, if I hadn't called down there, you would have never known that had just been stopped for, and I just think it's unacceptable. So that's why I was here tonight.
Well, I'm sorry if you were treated
It's okay.
disrespectful. So, like we said, we're going to find out and have a meeting. I do want to ask Randy, is there periodic checks on that generator?
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
Every
we've done
Monday,
it.
and who's doing that?
Yeah, the crew.
Okay.
The on-call person's been doing it. I
And
did
now we're
want to
not?
say that Nancy did call me, and I didn't know this was done. We've talked about it. I've talked with the mayor for a couple of years trying to figure out who owns the generator, why are we taking care of it, and all that. And I've asked the emergency management. He didn't know either, which I thought was kind of odd. But I did apologize to Nancy on the phone, and it shouldn't have been handled that way, and I do apologize for that.
Okay.
And
I
you
want
want
to
us
see
to
that
continue
relationship.
on right now until we get this resolved, that's fine. We will continue on and do it. I don't want a padlock on it because my uncle's on a water leak and you need to flip the switch. You need to be able to get in there and do that. That's my opinion. But
It always had a padlock on it. Like I said, for probably the same one that was there 15 years ago when I started. So,
Tell you the truth, I didn't even know there was one back there. The only one I knew about was the one they installed on the Barber Apartments. I didn't know that we had a.
yes,
They do.
Yeah, they do have one now. But yeah,
I didn't know there was one behind
It's not an issue of us. It's a matter of principle on how it all came down. So my question, basically, why I'm here is if I had not have called Randy and complained about how his staff treated my staff, I'd be sitting here going, oh, okay, so what's the deal with the generator? No phone call, no letter, no nothing, and just dropping us like hotcakes. That's my biggest complaint with that. So, and Randy did apologize to me when I called him, but it's not a matter of whether or not we can afford to take care of it. We can take care of it, but I would really like to continue our partnerships with the entities in this town and making sure that that does stay a emergency center, et cetera. So, but thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, council persons, my name is Sam Evans, and I am the chairman of the Glenrock Senior Board. And after I was told what transpired here recently and the verbiage that was used, I was very, very unhappy. We have always worked with the city. We continue to work with the city. But the first thing that came to my mind is, why should we, if the city thinks so little of us that they can't sit down at a meeting and talk to us about it, instead of over the phone talking to us about a padlock and blowing us off. So Nancy was very eloquent in her talking to you about what transpired, and that I, on the other hand, I'm not happy with it. What was said and what transpired and what happened was wrong. It'll be wrong until that, either that person or persons is changed, or something is changed here to work with us. I've lived in this city 50+ years, and personally I've done a lot of different things through JCs and all this, and for this person, or whoever it was, and I'm not going to use names, for them to treat us that way, I have a problem. So please fix that problem. And again, my belief is in the best interest of the senior center and this city, us having a place for people to go if there's a tornado or a flood or whatever. We got the food, we got everything there to take care of this community. But right now, I believe that we're left on the back door as stepchildren, and that shouldn't be. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sam. Any other items from the floor? If there's no more items from the floor, we'll move on to new business. First order of new business is an open container permit for Shayna Hofstetter for a class reunion. Let me get to it here. At Town Square on August 6th, 2022, from approximately 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Estimated number of people are 30 to 60 people. Shane is here if she would like to say anything. I think all the information's here that we needed, so unless you have something else you want to say, we can move forward with it. Okay. Thanks for coming in, though, and being here in case there was questions for you. So on this open container permit, is there a motion?
I move we approve the open container permit for Shayna Hofstetter's class reunion.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. You're off and running. Have a good class reunion. How many years is it?
12.
12?
We missed our 10 years.
Yeah. Okay. Next order of business before the town is another open container permit for Craig Linden for a wedding reception at the Glenrock Town Park on August 6, 2022. Estimated number of people was 75. I believe they're going to use one of the pavilions, correct? It really doesn't say here on the, just says Town Park, but I'm going to guess they're going to use one of those covered.
I think this one is the one of the pavilions at Town Park. We have a couple weddings this summer, so
I'm going to guess that it'll be at one of the covered places there in the shade. Since August, it might be a little warm down there. But is there a motion for this open container permit waiver?
I'll move that we approve Craig Linden's open container for a wedding reception on August 6th.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I think it's really nice that we have all these happy things happening going on in our community again. It's a good feeling.
A lot of our stuff gets used really well. So
Good to be out. Yes, it is.
a lot of wedding receptions and different family reunions, and down in the park, those covered areas have been received well and used a lot. So, any other discussion? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next order of business is for 24-hour alcohol beverage sales permit applications for Glenrock Main Street at the Town Square, one being on, do we want to do these one at a time or all together? As a council.
All together, yeah.
One's on 6/23. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm reading the wrong date. The second, 7/1, these are all in July. 7/1, 7/8, 7/15, and 7/22. They're all on, I believe, all Friday evenings. And Mandy has applied for these for the Town Square and seems to have all of them filled out appropriately. So is there a motion?
You forgot 729.
Well, did I not get all of them?
Nope, you did not.
Didn't go far enough. Excuse me, 729. I don't want. She's probably yelled if I cut her out of one.
Hey, I got some questions on it. Do we do that?
Yeah, but we have to make the motion
Okay,
first.
okay.
So, is there a motion for these 5 alcohol beverage sales permits?
I make a motion we approve all 5 permits.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Okay, discussion.
I just have some questions on how we fill these out. How do we determine who sells the alcohol, or how's this work? I guess fill me in.
So it's the Glenrock Main Street who is selling the alcohol, which goes back into our Main Street account for the events down at Town
Okay,
Square.
so Main Street sells the alcohol. I didn't know if
We sell it.
establishments in town did that or took turns at that.
Nope, we sell it, and then we look for beer pourers to be the beer pourers, so we
Okay.
promote different businesses. Now, that
Okay.
can be a bar, but this also opens up the economic development for other businesses in the area to come down and put the banner up. So the town and Glenrock Main Street are responsible for doing all the ID, where we've had
Right.
the tips training and that stuff.
Yep.
But then we have we pay for the
Okay.
beer wagon to come.
I just wanted to be clear on that. So
Yep.
Didn't know how that worked exactly.
Yep, that money goes back to the square for events and
Okay.
This is
Turn
legal
the
for
money
the
to Kelly.
Town Square for Main Street to do this, to sell of malt beverage
Okay.
liquor. If on the opening weekend of Deer Creek Days where we had Frank's Fort Diablo was here,
Well, ribbon cutting, yeah.
and the ribbon cutting, they were selling hard liquor, so
Okay.
that's how that, if
That was
they
my
was going to
question.
sell that type of alcohol, then it
I
has to
didn't know
have
if
a
we took
catering
turns
permit.
at that. Like
Yep.
if
And
Frank's
Col-
did it one time, can other people?
Oh, yes,
open?
and we're meeting with, we've invited the local bars to
Good.
come tomorrow night at 6 o'clock here for a meeting with Coulter and I, so we can encourage them to come and do like the hard liquor and how we can work on this relationship to keep growing, because
Perfect. That's what I wanted, to get the community involved with those businesses and
Yep.
get a shot at it if they wanted to.
Oh, yeah, because this is a great opportunity. The square is a great economic development, great for the
Perfect.
community, great for
Okay.
businesses, and we do want to take advantage of the square to promote the local businesses.
Offer everyone an opportunity.
Right.
Good plan.
And actually, if you noticed, last one at the Town Square, CEPI's engineers and employees were the ones that did the beer pouring
Yes, they did.
for the beer stand.
Yes, thank you, Jared.
I have a question. Is the town exempt from putting in 30 days prior to this? Are we going to?
She had these filled out at the right time, but we didn't get them on the agenda.
Okay.
But she did
Didn't want to
bring
open
them
can of
up.
worms on this.
She
Yeah,
brought them up.
Bring
but
them up at the last meeting.
She brought them up,
And-
but we
and
didn't get
nobody
them. We
had
didn't
any
get them on. We
objections
should have
to
had them.
Submitting them.
Okay.
The only if I wanted to comment, I was thinking that we probably need to include open container permit
Oh,
for these. So I don't know if
So do we need to amend the motion to add open container?
I thought this was an open container.
Well, it's
malt beverage.
It's a malt beverage permit, but we should have, it should also have open container with it. So whoever made the motion, would you like to amend your motion to add open container at the town square?
I move we approve all, was it 5 permits, and will there be 5 open container permits also?
Okay.
There we go.
And I'll second that.
And that's been moved and seconded.
Okay, I have another question.
Good thing to think of, Tammy. Okay.
I'm still questioning.
Okay.
Is there a time on that, or are they just going to start boozing about 5 and go on through the night, or?
well, 5 to 10-ish. And last time we were done at, what, 9:30?
Usually when it's over,
It's done. Yeah.
It's usually
Oh, okay.
during the events of times.
Yeah. We changed the music. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we changed the music from, instead of going from, what we were doing, 7 to 10, now we're doing 6 to 9.
And that's just going to be like in that parking area, like?
Yeah, we're on that one side. I mean,
Okay.
they can go in, we have our barricades over at the entrances, but they tend to just be right, the beer wagon is over behind the Lincoln building. And we do have an event on the 12th with music with root beer floats instead of alcohol. Beer. No, so you guys know, Jim Abbott will be here on Tuesday, July 12th, and we will be serving root beer floats.
Cool.
I'll pass.
Is there any other discussion?
No.
Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next order of business is a 24-hour alcohol beverage sale permit for Double D Liquors for, I believe, for Hogfest, correct? To happen, what is the date on that in South Rock? It's like
Yeah, it's 29th to 31st.
29th through 31st of July. So is there a motion?
I move that we approve the malt beverage permit for Hawkfest.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. We also got the paperwork, since this is a liquor dealer from Douglas, Wyoming. They have received permission from the city of Douglas, like they're supposed to, before they came up here and would do that there before this came before us here.
Do they need an open container permit too?
That's under, no, not out there.
We haven't.
I got a catering permit.
Yeah.
That's catering.
That's the catering
So
permit.
through her, she just has to do the catering.
Just has to do the catering permit. I think
they might have
I
already
think
done that.
I think the abate needs to come before us for open container out there, I believe. And you need to do that
They
really
might do
soon.
that.
By the next council meeting, we know.
Yep.
Does it saying and consumption at the permitted event not cover that?
That might.
I think it does cover that.
South Rock's always.
I think what we did last year was just this permit, and I think that covered
That
for
was it.
sale and use out there. So,
It did.
and it went well, and I hope it goes well again this year. It's quite an event out there, and everybody has a good time, and a lot of neat things go on. So, if everybody's okay with that one. If no other questions, I will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next order of business is ordinance number 735, an ordinance approving the final plat for the Meadowlark subdivision number 2. This is the second reading, passed and approved the 27th day of June 2022. Is there a motion?
I move that we pass ordinance 735 on the second reading.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next order of business is bills and claims. Is there a motion?
I move we pay our bills and claims.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
How much? So I move we pay our bills and claims and add 75,000 for 70. Oh, 70. Sorry.
70,000 for
Partial
ordering
payment. Partial
the
payment.
skating rink.
Ordering. Okay, I don't need to say their names.
No.
Okay.
It's a foreign
70,000
company.
for ordering the ice rink.
Yes.
And I'll second.
It's been amended. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Is there anything else this evening to come before the council meeting? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn our council meeting tonight.
And a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
That was a good meeting.
You gotta go golf again, Lord. The course.
She's been so busy.
I don't wanna.
She finally finished her rock project.
What?
I just should have sing and moved.
Well, there you go.
Do my new.
I'm in a very good mood.
Mandy's looking for
Shower
entertainment.
at 6:50.
Yeah, and he's looking for vocal entertainment.
It is beautiful.
All entertaining.
It's really good shape.
Oh, I know, it's beautiful.
And you know, they're getting ready to.
Come up and talk to me. Talent scout.
Are you kidding? You want to look good, you come golf with me, and you'll go walk out there and say, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe how well you're golf." Well, they're at 12 years. They've got the top paths with all that.
Amateur.
Amateur.
God. Mine's wrong. What about mine is? Graduated in 68. You know how long ago that was?
You know, I still am not sure that that's a winner. I don't know.
That's a long time.
And I guess one of the biggest players just had is they can't have a golf course.
All right, that sounds good.
He is like
That is.
Mr. Kincaid bought one.
I would think that would be a higher priority.
Take care of our.
What you do?
That's right. Without a greenskeeper, the golf course is gone. There'll be nothing up there. Are we going to mud off up there? Nothing beautiful. Well, maybe we'll have to have a.
Formal and Holly.
Well, which overlay?
Yeah, right. Or she needs.
We can always ask. That's that.
She needs.
That video meeting, that's a virtual meeting. We have to, if they're not up there.
And that's a pretty important.
Are they holding the meeting up there? I don't know that anybody's there.
There's a lot of different.
Everybody's doing that Zoom. I don't know that they're meeting. How are you? I guess you can call Dave.
Now I'm freezing. I'm going to go home.
I don't see. It's called everything.
So much today.
Feels good. You've had enough.
There personally or
Blast.
Next year, no more.
Okay.
No more summer stuff. I promised my wife. Always
from the AML.
do it this year.
Yeah, it's not going to be Briley. It's questions we need to ask the AML.
John Moulton's reading mine. You can read it when he's done. I'll get back to you.
Maybe we
It's
can
like a
golf.
handwritten one.
We can golf before the sun's out
Have
and.
a meeting about it, make up our mind and go from there. Not a problem. See you later.
This is Wolbeck greetings.
I'm in public. I don't know.
How's life?
Are you-
How's life in the world of bones?